Well, on this weather alert day, continuing to track some of that light snow as we get going this morning. Again, still seeing a lot of impacts down around the Jefferson City and Callaway County area. So if you're going to be headed out on some of those roadways, Highway 54, Highway 50, again, build in a lot of extra time. We've gotten a lot of reports this morning that things are still fairly slick. The rest of us have been faring a little bit better with some of these light snow showers this morning. They're going to stick around as we get all the way through the mid to late morning hours. By this afternoon, though, again, you can kind of see by about midday, I think we're going to be tracking a band trying to set up between about Highway 24 and Highway 36 here. And that's where we're going to be seeing some locally heavier amounts. Now, again, that's a fairly relative term because it's in and out of here as we get into really the next couple of hours after that. Get you all the way up to 4 o'clock. May still see some of that lingering as we get into the evening hours, but I think for the most part, a lot of that's going to start to cut back off. As we get into tomorrow morning, might see another band trying to develop, but FUTURETRACK's not exactly picking up on that right now as we get into our Thursday. Temperatures, though, again, we're stuck in the freezer, unfortunately, today and tomorrow. So that's where a lot of those issues on the roadways are coming into play. Looking at that snowfall amounts, or those snowfall amounts here today through tomorrow, again, it's not going to be anything terribly impressive. It's not a blockbuster system. A trace to about a half an inch is going to do most of us in. It's those higher end amounts, again, up around Highway 24 and Highway 36 is where we're thinking we might sneak a little closer to 1 inch. But regardless of how much you pick up, we're still going to be tracking some tricky travel as we get into today and Thursday. So again, build in a lot of extra time. At least here in Columbia, we fared okay. But like I mentioned, it's some isolated spots. Places like Jefferson City have seen their fair share of struggles this morning. Those upper level winds, though, looking at that big picture, again, this is where we're going to be tracking a lot of disturbances. It's been kind of like a fire hose effect over the last couple of days. That's going to be changing as we get into this weekend, but it's not exactly a better change. We're going to be tracking that polar vortex starting to sag a little bit further to the south here. You can see it right along that border between the United States and Canada. That's close enough that it's going to start to kind of throw some even more polar air our direction. Overnight low is going to be in the single digits as we wake up Saturday morning, below zero Sunday morning, and I think we're staying there as we get into Monday morning. Look at what it does with those wind chills. Again, when you factor in that wind, it's going to be feeling like 15 to 25 degrees below zero. Sunday morning looks like the worst of it. Monday's not exactly a walk in the park, though. And that's dangerous levels of some cold if you're going to be exposed to that. We could also be tracking some light snow as we kick off the weekend as some of that cold air moves in. Again, the details on that are still a little bit murky as of right now, but that looks to be kind of our next best shot aside from what we're tracking or what's left that we're going to be tracking today and tomorrow at picking up some accumulating snow. But again, the biggest issue is going to be just how cold it is as we get into this weekend.